There is an objective on the board. We are going to do a stamina test, so that stuff should be out as well, but copy the objective down first. I will give you 1 minute to get settled in and copy the objective. It's longer than the past few, so you gotta move fast. There is no talking involved in this. Can you take a sheet of paper out? I have blue sheet in the back. Thank you. Get blue sheet. Ten seconds. We'll come back and go over the objective. I will put up the stamina test in a second, but you can turn to question number 10. Yes, he is. You guys can set it up till then, because you know you have it in your notebook. You should be setting up your notebook. Nice. I like that Emmanuel's already reading his question. Yep. I will tell you in a second. Alright, let's do this. Since I'm giving you guys the responsibility, I'm now putting 3 minutes, and I'll tell you when I think you should be doing which part of the task. So you have 3 minutes to break down this question and answer it. I'll give you in a second. You should be wrapping up reading the question at this point and thinking about, okay, what do I need to find here? This question is asking me to find. What strategy are you using? You should be just about wrapping up the strategy that you're going to use. Do your best.
That's why I asked if you need to trust it. Yeah. See what you was doing there, right?
What strategy?
At this point, you should definitely be working on your solution. Analyzing the answer key, thinking about what you know to solve this.
How would you solve it? It says.
Did you Analyze your answer key. Last minute.
Okay.
Can you raise your hand if you have a solution chosen?
I saw it.
Okay, cool. Do you still need more time? Because I feel like for the most part, either we know it at this point or we are done. You still looking? Okay, keep working. Check over your answer, even if you have 7 seconds. All right. Today's random name selector. Jaquan. Go ahead and set up. Are you separate? Jaquan, before you set up, what is the question asking you to find?
Expression. An equivalent expression.
All right, cool. So if I was filling this out, I just need to keep it really simple. Equivalent expression. What kind of strategies did you use, can you use to solve this? Even if you didn't get to the point of finding your answer, what kind of strategies can you use?
You can use multiplication.
Okay, you can use multiplication. All right, Christina, what else do you notice?
I can use expression. Like that to 5 2.
Okay, I don't think you mean the word expression. There's another word. Are you talking about something like this? Okay, what is she talking about? She's calling this thing an expression, but it's called something else. Can you raise your hand if you think you have an idea? Instead of an expression, what is she calling? What should she be calling that thing? It does kind of sound like expression. You got it. What is that? Exponent. Christina, how did you know you needed to use exponents?
When I look at a number, I think I should use exponent.
Okay. If you look at the answer key, Jamil, if you look at the answer key, what do you notice about it? The different answers that you have, do you see something like that in there? You do, right? So maybe we do need to use exponents. All right. Name selector. Can you select someone, please? Emmanuel, what kind of answer did you get here? What was your solution?
I chose B.
You chose B. Can you talk that out with me? Where'd you get B?
Because I know 3. It had 2 3s. And then you got a 5.
What kind of work did you show for this? Oh, you didn't show work. Okay. All right. So let's do it together. So you're saying the answer is this, right?
Yes.
Emmanuel, if I was gonna expand this, if I was gonna make this longer, what would it be?
5.
Go ahead.
5 times 3.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let him finish. Go ahead.
5 times 3 and times another thing because this is square.
Okay. Tell me this, Emmanuel. When we evaluate something like this, what do we evaluate first?
On the 5 times 3.
Okay. Because it's inside of what?
Because it's inside the parentheses.
Parentheses. Okay. So you said 5 times 3, right? So we have 5 times 3. How many times, according to this exponent, do we have to write what's inside the parentheses?
2 times.
2 times. So after I wrote 5 times 3 one time, then what do I do? Like this? Okay. So you told me that I need to write it once and then twice. Now I want everyone to take 5 seconds to look at what Emmanuel told us. This answer is this equivalent to this. That's what he's telling us. Can you take a look and tell me if you agree with that? 5 seconds. So again, are these equivalent? 4, 3, 2, 1. Random name selector, choose someone. I want to know if Emmanuel's answer is correct. John, what are you thinking?
I think it's D.
Okay, slow down before you throw in another answer in the mix. I just want to know, what do you think about what's on the board? They are equivalent. Okay. What about what's on what the question's asking you? Would you say that this answer is equivalent to what the question's saying?
Yes.
Okay, but you said the answer is still D?
Yes, and the reason for that is because it's still the same, because if you add, if you keep multiplying, 15, and if you multiply 5 times 3, it will give you 15. And if you multiply 5 plus 3 again, it will give you another 15. So 5 times 3 will give you 15, times 2 will give you 30, just the same amount as...
Hold on, you said this is?
This is 15, times 2 will give you 30.
Alright, let's evaluate this right here. So here, hold on a second. Evaluate this one then. You're saying this is, if we were going to simplify this, what does this become? So if we were going to simplify Emmanuel's, John. Hold on. I want to give room so you guys don't get confused. Okay. Alright, so John, 5 times 3 is?
5 times 3 is 15.
Alright, what else do I need to simplify?
To simplify, 15 also,
What goes in the middle?
times.
So you're saying, what is this?
15 times 15.
Is going to be the same as 15 times 2?
No.
Interesting. So are they equivalent?
Yes.
So you were saying B and D are kind of the same thing, right?
Sort of.
Okay, are they though?
No.
Okay, interesting. So then which one is actually equivalent to what they're asking us? I want you to finish this. So now if you look at the answer, the question, which one is actually equivalent?
The actual one that's equivalent is B.
Is B. Okay, interesting. Does anyone else have anything to add on? Amari, go ahead.
You came over here and I had B and you said something to me.
I know you had D. I didn't say anything to
I
you.
said B.
You originally had D. And I asked.
originally had B.
No, I mean, sorry. You originally had B, but when I came to you, you had D, and I was like, you originally had B and you erased to D, and you said yeah, and I was like, okay. I didn't say anything to you. Amari? Okay. Any other questions? Any concerns?
I got it right.
Okay, what I want to make sure is that you do not have this in your notebook, okay? If you had it as your original solution, that's fine. But under correct solution needs to go what Ms. Kayumi is putting in a nice red box.
Yes, I got it.
Okay? Red box has to be in your red solution. If you had B correct and you didn't have this work, you still need to add the work. Because you need to always have a justification. B is our final answer. Check it off. I'm giving you 45 seconds to wrap up everything and finish copying.
Rescue. I'm guessing check skills are fire.
Good for
I got it
you.
right, I guess.
Down there.
I don't know this.
Well, you made a nice educational guess.
B.
I did too. Yeah, I did it. Finish first.
That's good that you were finding that out. Just be careful with this question. Just because. Whoa!
So what was R times R? What would be the answer? Equivalent.
Just be careful with this question because you want to be careful. It wasn't telling you to find the value. You could find the value of the answers to help you, but there was no need to go into all that work, you know? You don't need to waste time finding value. That's why we're asking, what is this question asking us? You have 0 seconds.
I already finished.
Name selector, select someone for our
B. You're out.
Alright, let me make something clear.
I got it.
Jaquan is the name selector and he wants to do sound effects today, so John, you're gonna have to have to not be involved in the volume today, okay? Alright, cool. Laurel.
Students will be able to solve one-step equations using a flow chart.
Cool. I'm glad you asked that. Jaquan's asking what a flow chart is. Does anyone know what a flow chart is, or have they seen it? Any ideas? John?
I think a flow chart is something that the numbers are like scattered or something like that in a chart.
Okay. It is a chart.
No.
I don't know if the numbers are scattered. Jamil, you had your hand kind of doing this thing. What are you thinking? Actually, I think you were doing like a visual. What are you doing? Like progress? Like one of these? Okay. It's not a flow chart. It's a type of graph, but it's not a flow chart. Okay. If someone was telling you to go with the flow, right? What are you going to be doing? Raise your hand to respond. If you were going with the flow. Manuel?
Going with the flow means like keeping calm and getting calm and
I like keeping calm, but I'm thinking about something a little bit more specific. Go with the flow. Like, what is someone telling you to do?
wing it.
Stick what you already had.
Okay, kind of stick with what you're doing. I'm thinking of a specific word. Laurel?
Like go with what's going on.
Okay,
Stay.
go with what's going on. We're getting a little closer.
Stay.
So if you're going with what's going on in school, let's say, you're kind of, I'm just going to tell you because I don't know if I can get you guys to say this, but you're kind of following an order, right? So like at school, if you're like going crazy because something changed and someone's like, just go with the flow, like it's going to be okay. You're kind of just following along and you're going in order, right? So flow chart helps us follow some type of order. Okay? That's what we're talking about when we're talking about flow. And a chart is just something that graphically or visually we can see. Okay? So we're going to be using a flow chart. There's something new in our objective that we haven't really talked about much this year. What else? I want to see hands in the air today. I'm getting frustrated with the calling out. We've been talking to you about this for the past few days. It's got to go. John. Equations. We're going to talk about what an equation is, and I don't want to talk about it just yet. By the end of this period, I'm going to see if you can tell me what an equation is without me telling you. Okay? But before we move on, we're talking about equations today. What were we talking about before this? Not before this specific topic. I mean, like in a previous objectives, we weren't talking about equations. We were talking about something else. Algebraic expressions. So we were talking about expressions, right? Yesterday? We were talking a lot about expressions. Now we're moving on to equations. So let's see where this takes us. Okay. So actually the first question that we have is going to be a turn and talk. I want you to, so before you write anything down, we've been working with expressions where we evaluate because I tell you that x equals a certain number, right? Last night in the homework we did the same thing. Here, I'm asking you to find the value of x. So what is the value of x? So imagine that if this x wasn't here, this is just like a blank line. Some number plus 19 equals 35. How would you figure out what that number is? I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to give you 1 minute to think about it independently, and then we're going to turn and talk. Okay? Does anyone have questions about what I'm asking you to do? Hello? Hello? No. 1 minute. Go ahead.
You guys can turn it off.
If you finish early?
7? Okay, so we have vocabulary
already knows how to
Good.
do this, because he already took this class, so you should be talking about it, don't do it, don't solve it.
Solve it in any way that you think you can. So how would you find what x is?
Okay, so you should be talking how. What are the steps? You can teach him and he can tell you whether you're right or wrong. He already knows.
I'm not trying to know what I'm trying to solve.
Okay, so can you?
I already finished.
You walk through your life.
So what are you doing?
This is the plus sign.
That's not the answer.
Look at the board.
That's the
X
problem.
plus 19.
No, that's your problem.
But at one,
What's the answer? Well, the answer is 15.
Minus 19.
Unless I can't add, then I say that's not the answer.
What were you thinking before?
But you
Oh,
don't
you counted
understand the intelligence answer.
And you told him to do the, what were you using?
You did it right.
You know this stuff. All right, can you raise your hand if you have some type of solution, some type of answer to share?
oh yeah,
So what are you missing?
I didn't ask for you to call out, I just asked you if you have some solution, even at least for number one. So 1, 2, 3, only 4 people got a solution? I thought I had more students with solutions. Jaquan, you have a solution?
Excuse me, I can't see the other questions.
All right, here's what I want you to do. I'm gonna switch it up today. So Jaquan, I want you to come talk to Christina. Laurel, you're gonna turn around and talk to Emmanuel and Rodney, and then the two of you guys can pair up. Amari's a great partner to have. Ready? Go ahead. You don't need to take it.
You're right there.
You're good. If I need you, I'll move you back.
You're right, but how'd you figure that out?
I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to talk to your partners, and I'm coming around to see what discussion's happening.
Well, I
You didn't get the second one yet? Okay, so Jaquan is struggling with the first one.
I think we'll do it.
So why did you fuck that up?
You're right, so.
I put down
Minus
Why don't you guys talk about what you did? And what answer you found that X.
That's how
Can
you're
you put
doing
X equals? I'm gonna come back and follow.
You already know, but
And
help
part of your
her.
meeting is presenting, so
Help
make
out.
sure you
I was
guys listen.
She just told me you got the right answer.
You're not talking to Mari, you're talking to Jaquan.
So teach her your way and lead this way for now.
Okay, you counted
Lead
up,
this way.
cool.
And teach her your way, what did you
What did he do?
get?
He said that.
Done.
My way also works. I shouldn't say that. Yes, you did. You're not even listening to me.
Well, then
Okay,
come
but
on.
still explain it. You still got the right answer.
73.
What do you gotta do? Just add up.
What's your answer?
That's why I did it. That's kindergarten.
How'd you get it?
So you're saying you're 19, 20, 21, so that's what you did?
Yep, I did it. I want to
Okay,
do one now.
How'd you do it faster?
I feel like I
You have less than a minute. If you're done, then work on question number 2.
Question number 2. Laura, you still
So
coming?
yours is x equals your answer, how you write it is x equals 16. Can you write that down here?
I already finished.
But listen, if you do it this way, the opposite of addition is, so if you do addition, you put,
Yeah, you sent me one. Yeah, send me and keep.
so try for,
Wait, this is 0.
is 0?
Nine minus 5 is 0.
Oh, I'm not teaching you that yet.
No, he didn't do it this way.
Okay, cool.
He did it
The other
count
way.
it up.
I'll
So,
show you why.
no, he didn't count it up, I just wrote that in his notebook.
That's fine. No, I'm just letting you know that. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I just like.
Count, still do
For,
it your
more
way.
for.
Yeah, still do it your way, show him
All right,
around.
cool. Jaquan, can you go back to your seat? Laurel, face forward, please.
I'll keep it there.
Rodney, can you random name select, please?
Here's one show.
I'm gonna wait a second. Amari. Good Molly, your name was chosen. So can you share, can you share how you found your answer for number 1?
I counted up to 35 and it gave me 16.
Okay. So you just counted up and you said x
Equals 16.
equals 16. So if I add 16 plus 19, does that give me 35? Let's check. Did someone else do the math?
Yes.
16 plus 19, do you guys agree?
Yes.
See?
Alright, cool.
Yo.
What about the second question? Okay, did I call on you?
Yes, in mine.
Stop. Sit there.
John. Oh, 173. 173 subtracted by 73 equals 100. Yeah. Here.
So, y equals, so I know a lot of you guys counted up. How did you get 173?
Not 173 because I just noticed that it said 73 subtracted by 1. I noticed it said 73 equals 100. I'm like, 73 to 100.
Can you repeat that, please?
173. I knew it was 173 because if I looked at 100, I knew if I add 73 into 100, it would have done 173. So then I subtracted and it got me 173.
So you did a little bit of guess and check?
Yeah.
Okay. Did anyone use a different strategy? Can you face forward, please? Did anyone use a different strategy? Rodney?
I looked at it, I noticed I can't minus a lower number than 73 to get 100, so I decided to just add it, set 100 and 73, and I got 173 and just put down the 1.
So you did the opposite. Because this tells you to subtract a number from, subtract 73 from a number, right? But you decided to add 73 back to that number.
Yeah.
And then you would find y. So you did the opposite. Some of you guys went forward, and he was thinking backwards. Let me go backwards, okay? And I really like that because that's what we're going to be doing today when we use this flow chart method. So Amari, I think you use that method also, right? You went backwards. You added, or you, in this case, you added, right? 73 plus 100. All right, cool. So I want you guys to rewrite this top equation in your notebook, and then I'm going to show you how we can solve it using this flowchart method. What's up?
The method they can use for the top one is that they go minus 19 from 35. They get the answer faster.
Yep, exactly. So again, we're going backwards instead of going forwards, right? So I'm going to show you guys how we can do that really quickly. I need everyone's attention for this because now we're combining like terms yesterday was major, but this is like the foundation of equations. And I promise you, you're going to see this until the end of time when it comes to math. This is like the beef of your program, okay? So when you start with an equation, I'm gonna wait though, because seriously, the extraneous sounds are really distracting to me. I don't expect it from this class. We're regressing, we're moving backwards. I'm at the point that I'm gonna ask Mr. Rivera that you guys not go outside one day. Because that's the kinds of behaviors you're presenting. And it's not everyone. But some of you are consistently doing it. Okay, so when we're talking about equations, all right, we always start with x. You always want to know the value of x, right? Because here, John, did we know what x was?
No.
No, and this wasn't like the expression where I said evaluate based on this number. Hold on a second, right? You have to figure it out. So when we start, we always want to put x and put this little bubble. Okay? Now, what's happening to x, Christina? In this equation, what's happening to my x? The first one. If you were going to translate this, you were saying a number what? Plus 19. So what you're saying here is plus 19, and then what should go inside this bubble? I started with x, and then I added 19. So what's my new expression? If I add 19, it's going to be, Chris Melody? Just the expression. Just the expression. Go ahead, Christina. Not 19x, x. So x plus 19. Okay? So do you see that little flow? So what I said first is, hey, I'm starting off with x, all alone, all by myself. Okay? Now I'm adding 19, right, Laurel? The next thing after x is that I need to add 19. Once I add 19, my new expression is x plus 19. Is anyone confused about what we just saw? Do you see the flow of what's going on? No? You don't see it?
You don't be confused.
Okay, this one, can you maybe talk to him about that? If this method doesn't work, you can use inverse, but I'm starting with this, so I just want to make sure they kind of understand. Can you actually give me a thumbs up if you feel like you understand what I just did? Because if you don't understand it, then there's no point in me moving forward. I don't know that everyone's listening. If you don't feel like you understand it, then give me one of these or one of these. Okay. I'm going to continue, but I want you to pay attention. And if at the end of the next piece you don't get it, then we're going to go over another one. Okay? What?
I think it must not be good as this last year.
Yes. Yes, I know. This is the same thing. That's why we're learning it again. Just right. So x plus 19 gives you x plus 19. Now, the way we do this is we're going to use Amari and Rodney's method of going backwards. Now, I've covered the left side of my expression, right? What did I say the left side of my expression equals? Emmanuel? Equals what? Okay, so then here, I'm going to put 35. Okay? Because I'm saying x plus 19 equals 35. This is the equal sign here. Right? Do you guys see the flow here? X plus 19 equals 35. Do you see how this looks like our equation? Okay, now I'm going to go backwards. So here, I added 19. Rodney, what'd you say you did to solve this?
Just add it up.
Instead of adding, what was the other thing you said you did?
Oh, I did that on the second one.
Okay, Amari, what's the other option? Instead of adding 19, you can subtract 19. So if I subtract 19 here, and I'm going backwards, 35 minus 19 is going to give me what answer?
8.
Do it in your notebook. You guys have the answer.
Wait, 16. 16.
Raise your hand when you have an answer, because again, we're calling out. Rodney, the answer is?
16.
16. So x equals 16. Do you guys see the flow of this?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do one more. What?